Page 8, a short story. Starting with the right hand, let's look at this rhythm they've got. You got eighth notes, eighth rest, a quarter note, and all this junk. You're starting in on the fourth beat of the measure. Scott, pick up those two eighth notes. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So let's do that. You have a 4 and 1 rest, because it's an eighth rest, so you're resting on the end of 1. So it's 4 and 1 and. Then you have a quarter note for 2, 2 and then on 3, it's another eighth note, eighth rest, 3 and 4 and. And that's important that you understand why that's working that way. It's easy to listen to somebody play it first and then just do what they did. But I would really prefer you be able to just look at that first without hearing somebody play it, and okay, I understand what they're doing. Third line down on page 8. Let's look at these notes. You're starting out with a G, and then you have these eighth notes again, only now it's 2 notes at a time. This type of fingering is very common in piano, and when you're first learning it, it's very awkward. So all I can suggest to you is keep working on it. Very slowly, just try and get it, and you should do it in both hands. Very slowly, just take your time with it. Try and get the notes down at the same time. Know what your fingers are going to do, and in time, it will get easier. Really, it will. This is what we're doing here on third line down. Notice the fingering on the second measure there. The first notes is 1, 3, and then it changes to 2, 4. And then at the end of the third line, it's 1, 5. It's a wrist thing. Just bump, bump, bump. And then there's wrist staccato. The eighth notes are not staccato. And the last line, last 2 measures, you're here and then it's here. Page 9, top of page 9, second measure. Remember the quarter rests, they're important. So you got a 1 rest, 3 rest. Don't hold those quarter notes over. We need to hear the quarter rests. At the bottom of page 9, you're coming off of this run. If you can do a C major scale, this is a piece of cake, because that's all this is a C major scale. But then in the second measure, that is a quarter note. So hold it out for 1 beat and come up on beat 2. And beat 2 is right when the left hand plays the B. So it's here, right there. Next measure, same thing. Right hand at just quarter note 1 beat. So it comes up when the left hand plays that B. Speaking of the left hand, at the beginning there on page 8, you have this Alberti bass going on. It's in treble clef. So both staves are in treble clef. When I play this, I'm not using the fingers, I'm rolling the hand. I'm just shifting the weight from one finger to another. You can't see it very well because it's a very slight move, but that's all I'm doing here. Keeping the fingers on the keys. Now on page 8, at the end of the first line, in the left hand, you're starting out with the C chord. And then notice you're going down to the F. Well, that's down here. Now if your hand's big enough, you can just stretch out and reach it. Otherwise, you have to go down very quickly. Second line, last measure, left hand. We're here. That's an A and a thumb on the D. Okay, just I'm pointing out what they're doing. I'm not changing anything. That's just what they're doing. The runs starting in the third line down. These are C major scale runs. They're just not starting on C. They're starting on some other note, but it's still that. Now this one that starts in the second measure there, You finger it like a G major scale, you just don't have an F sharp. But then in the last measure there, that is a C major scale. Then on the last line, first measure, again, it's like a G major scale, but there's no F sharp. And in the C major scale, you see we're alternating between these two things, and it's fine. Top of page 9, second measure, watch the fingering. It starts with a 3, 4, 3, 2, and then a 1. Third line down on page 9, last measure, left hand, those are quarter notes. Hold them out a full beat and then lift it up. So in the right hand you got the eighth note. So we got here, right when the right hand plays the E, you lift up the left hand. Next beat, on third beat, right when the right hand plays the B, you lift up the left hand. So we got a quarter rest. Next measure is similar. You're here, right when the right hand plays the G, you lift up the left hand. See, know when you're doing what with each hand. We try and be as exact as possible, because as the music gets more difficult, and it will, this becomes even more important. In the left hand at the bottom of page 9, the last line, I'm going to start with the second measure. We have all these eighth notes. You're starting here and immediately putting the thumb here. Puts you in position for a C major scale. You might have to practice that little move. The phrase doesn't start to the thumb plays the C, so it's okay to have a little bit of silence between those two eighth notes. And then you play the C major scale going down. And in the next measure, the first C is with the little finger, and then the second one is with the thumb. This is also common in piano, where you do. Again, the phrase breaks there, so you get a little silence between them. It's fine. Dynamic-wise, just follow the dynamics they're doing. Over on page 8 at the top, first line, last measure, you have that a swell is what I call it, where you get louder and softer. So go for the A. The A is the note you're after. So second line, last measure, there's a crescendo. It's similar to a swell, except instead of the hairpin, they put in crescendo. Same effect. You're crescendoing and then you're diminuendoing. Then you're getting softer. And you want to go to here. You want to feel like you're going someplace. And where we're going is the G on the first measure of the third line. There on measure 8, that's where we're going. And then you can die. The piano will die off the G for you. You just have to die off the left hand. Now, be careful on the third line. With these notes, starting with the third beat of the first measure, or the fourth beat of the third. When you have these, and then you see a crescendo there. Don't be too quick with the crescendo. Very, very gradually. Don't. And the C is where, if you're going to get loudest, that's the loudest part. And then you come back down. At the top of page 9, second measure, that F is where you're going to. And that's really, I mean, you're loud with here, but the musical message, sentence, so to speak, is not until you get to the last measure at the top of that page. So to try and demonstrate, starting with the last two measures on page 8, I'm just going to start with the pickup to the last measure. It's here, we're soft. Now, see? Ta-da! Then soft again. Going on, get it louder. Okay. Third line down, last measure, you're going to crescendo up. And then decrescendo down. It's the same thing as the hairpins. Played the same way. And at the very end, you're very soft. You'd like died away to nothing. And that last measure on page 9, your 2 counts come up on beat 3. 1, 2, 3. So with all that said, let's give this a try. I'll give us 3 counts, so let's try it together. We're going to go really, really slow because of all the 8th notes. You can speed it up on your own. 1, ready, and go, and... Now, I don't know if there's recordings of this available or not, but I'll give you an idea of what I think this could sound like.